Okay, this is the third video on the Dealer Synergy series on how to use iMagic's Internet Lead Management tool with the Dealer Synergy process and protocol in place. We are still here at Buckhannon Toyota, but now we're using a different dealership as an example, one that's been working for a while on the system because Buckhannon doesn't have any real leads in their system. So I know this is a little bit blurry, but basically I want you to hear the audio in as long as you can see where my finger's going. Just to recap, this is very important that you all remember. Step one, when you first walk into the dealership, before you start your leads, you're going to do the Dealer Synergy 3-minute book. That is a proprietary Dealer Synergy system. We'll train on that in a little bit. After the 3-minute book, you're going to first check your appointments, see what appointments you have on your schedule, appointments that are for in-store visits or reminders of what to make a phone call, when to make a phone call, or a reminder of who's calling you, etc. Now, the real meat and potatoes is this. The system that I like with iMagic, again, is because it's like a conveyor belt. It's very systematized. Step one right here is the urgents. You're going to click your urgents. Urgents are all your fresh prospects that have not been responded to yet. After you handle your fresh leads, your urgents, you're going to go to the next part of your list right here, which is your responses. These are people that have responded to some of your email templates or your manual templates. The next step here is your follow-up, aka also known as your all active. These are all your active leads. As of right now, this dealership, this woman here, this coordinator has 144 active. So we're going to click here, and now as you see here, it just expands on this. So what happens is this, folks. After you've come into work, after you've obviously calibrated yourself mentally, emotionally, and you've done your 3-minute projection, forecasting, goal setting exercise every day. It takes 3 minutes to do it. That's why it's called the 3-minute book. That after you check your calendar and your schedule and your reminders of what's going on that day, all that should take a total of like 5 to 6 minutes. That's it. You've invested in the beginning of your day to get started the right way. The first thing you're going to do when you go to iMagic is handle your fresh leads. iMagic labels it as urgents. They're going to handle all your urgent leads. Your urgent leads are your fresh leads. Does that make sense? Okay, after your fresh leads, you're going to go towards your responses. Those are people that have responded to some of your email templates or your direct emails or whatever email communications. Those are email responses. Those are your second hottest opportunities. Make sense? Your next place to go is your follow-up, aka your all active. These are all your active leads. Now I'm going to spend the next 5 to 6 minutes going over this, but I want to state one thing now. It shouldn't take you that long, folks. To be honest with you, you shouldn't have a ton of fresh leads. You shouldn't have a ton of responses. I mean 5, 6, 7, 8. I mean maybe it's a busy day, it's 15, but I don't see you having 50, 80, or 100 in a day, just so we're clear. So you should be able to get through that pretty quickly. So let's say you handle your fresh leads and your responses, fairly swiftly when you first come into your shift. Does that make sense? The majority of your day is going to be going into your follow-up. The majority of your day is going to be going to your follow-up. It's going to be going into your all active. And what you're going to be doing is if your protocol for Dealer Synergy is phone call, email, or email, phone call, email, phone call, email, phone call, but iMagic's automation does all the emails, what is all of your protocol then, folks? Loud. Louder. Phone call, 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 phone call. Yes, like a typewriter almost. It's going to be phone call, 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 phone call. Why do we do it that way? Because you only have an 11 to 14% connection ratio. That means the Dealer Synergy minimum expectancy is 120 phone calls make or take a day, right? That means at best, if you have a 14% connection ratio, you're only going to get 16.8 people on the phone to listen to you. At best, you're only going to have about 25 to 33% of those are actually going to turn into appointments, which is anywhere from 4 to 6 appointments in a day, if you're lucky. Now think about that. 4 appointments in an 8-hour shift, doesn't that sound realistic? That only means basically 1 appointment every other hour. If that's all we're doing all day, doesn't that seem realistic?
Yes.
Oh, absolutely it does. But for you to do that, you need to systematize yourself, condition yourself to be a machine. And I mean that in a positive way. Again, it's just phone call, phone call, phone call, phone call. Oh, got somebody on the phone. Then once you get somebody on the phone, I'm going to show you what to do in the next video, okay? When you get somebody on the phone, then you're going to go through your 10-step, deal with synergy road to the appointment process. Once you get to the next step, you're going to go to your deal with synergy road to the appointment process. Now, one of the things that are going to happen, you either make the appointment or you don't. If you make the appointment, you set an appointment, do the appointment confirmation protocol and process. If you don't, what do, ladies? Come on. I can't hear you. Absolutely. See, guys, they're learning, right or wrong here. You should be proud of your team. Absolutely, you're going to fully qualify and turn it over to either your internet director, desk manager, or your internet director, liaison in here, or your internet sales consultants are going to be your TO people that are going to be in the room. Make sense, ladies? Yes. So again, the vision is very powerful. You're going to do, like Dr. Covey says from the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, first things first. Once we get to the all active, you're going to, go through your list. Phone call, 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 phone call. Once you get a prospect, you're going to engage that prospect and either going to make or not make the appointment. Then you're going to go on to the next one. You know what? I get questions a lot. I get questions, Sean, okay, what happens if, we get through all our list? Then you go over it again. That's what you do, is you go over it again. If you should be able to get through your entire list. Let's say if you come in at 9 o'clock and you work at 9 to 6, you should really be able to get through your entire list if you've got 75 to 100 leads in there, at least by 3 o'clock or so. You might or might not want to handle your same leads right then and there. You might want to wait till 5, 5:30, or 6 o'clock to redo it again. Do you know what I mean? Because if you missed them the first time, chances are because that's not the right or best number to reach them. Make sense? So that's why it's imperative that you be cognizant and be smart. It's not just about working hard and pound the phones. You've got to be strategic. You've got to realize where and what time you're making these phone calls. Does that make sense, everybody? You need to make sure where you're making the phone calls and at what time. Now, there's nothing wrong with phone calling people twice in a day or even 3 times in a day. I don't really care. If you've got the time, do it. Don't leave messages, but only maximum once a day. If you can do, call block or star 67 so they don't see that you're calling, then what's the harm? If they don't know that you are phone methodically calling them or stalking them, then what harm is there? Do you see what I'm saying? Don't be over pressure and leave a million different, voicemail messages in a day. I mean, call once a day. That is fine. Call once in a day. That's our system, once in a day, and I'll get into that at the last and final video. Okay, folks? But does that give you a big clarity of understanding of what to do? Now, here's the reason why I don't want you to use phone call action plans over here, like call this person this day, call that person today. If you follow the Dealer Synergy system, it's pretty much simple. It's very, very simple. The first thing you do is handle your urgents or your fresh leads. The next thing you do is you handle responses, and then the majority of your day is going to be an all active. Right or wrong? Why do you need a computer to tell you to call this person and call that person when I'm telling you, the trainer and the consulting comes telling you, call everybody that's in your all active. Now, folks, let me just say this here. Do me a favor. I want you to put this on me for the last minute and 30 seconds, but from up here, up. Okay. Can you see me? Or up here? Yep. This is very important. I want you to understand. I do not want you to mess this part up, okay? And this is very confusing about all the people you're going to call. When I say call everybody every single day, I mean people that you're able to call every single day. There's going to be times that you get people on the phone that say, hey, listen, I'm sick, call me tomorrow, okay? Or call me in 2 days, or I'm going on vacation, or I'm going to your funeral, it's my anniversary. Trust me when I tell you this, folks, there's going to be situations every single day where people tell you not to call them the next day. Don't say, well, Sean Bradley from Dealer Synergy says call me anyway, so I'm gonna, I got to call him anyway. That's not what I'm saying. What I am saying, folks, is that you have to have a standard operating procedure. The standard operating procedure is to call everybody every single day. However, when you actually go through your list, this is the good part about this, when you go through your list, there'll be notes in there. If you do the notes the right way, which is the last and final video I'm going to do right after this, there'll be notes that tell you, recontact in 2 days, don't call for here, he's going away here, he's sick, he's at a funeral, it's a birthday, it's anniversary. So technically, listen to me, you're not going to have to call every single body every single day. That is what your overall protocol, your overall mindset is, unless there's a note that says don't. So think about that. Think, you know what I mean? You're able to truly get through your list once a day. It has got to be mandatory minimum to get through your list once a day. The goal should be to try to get through your list twice a day. Mandatory once a day, goal twice a day. Make sense?